Welcome back to D&D Stories, episode 2. If I'm not this is episode 2. I had to check the script because, I've had so many episodes in the series. I just got my chain spear, though, if you remember, and we were about to kidnap some lizard boy, I feel like it's pretty average D&D, first start of a campaign. This episode is all going to be about us escaping for the most part, and I think that's probably going to be it. So let's go ahead and get right into the story. Don't want to waste too much time. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you remember, I had strangled two random, well, not random, but a dwarf and some lizard. I had strangled both of them with the chain, which then became my chain spear. We're about to kidnap some lizard dude, which we found out his name because we started talking to him. It's Chip. That's his name. It's Chip. Let me repeat that. That's pretty much it. He said he was going to show us the way out. So we said, let's go. We put him on Brian's back because he's a turtle. And that's it. So, but before we go, we wanted to talk to some of these prisoners to see if we can make somewhat of a crew up. So we started talking. Just really shady guy in the corner. He was a dragonborn. He seemed really shady though. He's over there, just kind of chilling. He's an acid dragonborn. So we all kind of confused about why he didn't just escape. But so we started talking to him and asked him why he didn't escape since he could just shoot, the acid. We didn't say all that, but we just asked him why he didn't escape. He said, "Because I'm a small dwarf." So we figured the only way out is, so I just knocked him out. We knocked him out, and we put him on Brian's big turtle ass. And that's it. We placed him on the back, and we started to leave, and Chip started telling us directions to escape. But that little orc girl from the beginning of it that screamed, if you do remember, she started screaming, so we had to go and find free, her family. So that's what we did. We set out on an adventure, and we Dylan basically was the one that went out. He figured out where they were because I didn't want to leave because, we figured Dylan was the fastest. He'd get there the quickest. So we did that. So we sent him out there. Dylan runs inside the prison. He frees everyone. This is the start of where Dylan kind of somewhat becomes a little crazy. So basically, he tells some of the prisoners to go that way towards where some of the guards sound like they're at. So they all run that way, probably to their doom. We never see him again. And he shows the other people that follow where Dylan and the orc dad go. That's where they all go. They all go back towards us, and we're all ready to go. So now Chip's starting to tell us directions. I ask him, hey, is there an armory where we can, get some stuff? And he goes, yeah, there's nothing useful in there. So we, of course, logically, say, fuck it. Let's listen to the guy that, was, pretty much just watching us be prisoners. So we get to the top of this ship, finally. We're at the top here, right? And there's red flags, and we could see over the bay. Well, not over the bay. There's no bay. But we can see over there a big-ass ship, like a fucking massive ship compared to this one. We know it's bigger, but we that's not what we really noticed at first. But we noticed the captain sitting there, and he notices us as well. So, of course, the captain's like, the fuck? And he just, he says, bump it. Now, okay. What I'm about to say next was the ultimate strategy, all right? It's the only way I could ever do this, right? So I was mad at him for imprisoning us, like you would be, all right? If you're not mad at someone for imprisoning you, I don't know what you would do. So I grab my chain spear and I start to get ready to throw it. And so I he's like, okay, so the DM says, look, you roll a 20. I'll let you get it. So I go and I roll, and I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm going to murder this motherfucker. Yeah, I get a 4, and the guy just basically just says, no, and knocks me out. So I'm knocked out now at this point. You have Brian the turtle with the chip on his back and the fucking dragonborn who thinks he's a dwarf. Both of them are on his back. So instead of, him getting in the fight, since he's more of a tank kind of guy, he's got more health than probably both of us, right? Nah, he walks over. He just sits down. He literally walks over the edge of the ship and just sits down. Okay, I don't know what else you would do, I guess. I don't know what else I expected from this. So he sits down at the edge of the ship, and the captain goes in to just fucking destroy Dylan. So right as Dylan... So, I forgot to mention, by the way, this is my bad for not mentioning this. The orc had given Dylan this spell book in Orcish, so no one could read it. I think one of us could. I can't remember. I think if I'm not mistaken, Brian could read it. But I just wanted to mention that because it does come in later. But Dylan is about to get murdered. So Yeah, it sucks. So as he's going in for this spell, because also let me tell you about this dumb boy. So he goes. Dylan decides that he's gonna try to go invisible. He tries to use a spell, invisibility, and the guy just spell blocks him and just says no no no, and then goes in for the final kill. So as this is all happening, right? The only logical thing, Brian just sits over there in the corner. Dylan's about to get murdered, and the orc dad steps up and goes, no, and jumps in the way, takes the hit, gets completely disintegrated. Like he's just ash at this point. The mother and the orc daughter sees this, obviously in fear, and finally, I wake up, I get up, and the other ship's attacking us. The big ass cruise ships finally attacking this ship. We finally jump up. We said, nah, we're not dealing with it. We run into the escape pod. We launch it all up. Since I'm actually a pretty good pilot, I set it up. We blast off, right? Because this thing's apparently more like a cannon as it shoots out its escape pod. So we're basically just cruising on this, and we look back to see the little red submarine. Not submarine. I mean, it's more of a submarine than anything. We see it sinking into the water as a submarine. It's just submerging. So basically, this big ship's still firing into them, but we're just cruising. We're saying, nah, we're not dealing with that. So we're just cruising at this point, and that's going to be the end of episode 2. Finally, we escaped. We can actually finally start getting to the interesting part of the story. Next, we're going to fight a fucking sea dragon. So that's pretty cool, I guess. If you guys did enjoy, get ready for next week. That's probably when I'm going to get the video ready. Probably next week around that time. So be ready for that. What's going to come out around next week. Like I said, if you did enjoy, leave a like. Do whatever, I guess. I don't know. I don't fucking know. You know, don't be listening to YouTubers and what they ask you. That's pretty much it though. If you guys, like I said, if you want to see some more, get ready for next week. I suggest subscribing. Remembering Sagitos Game, I guess. That's a really long name. I wouldn't suggest remembering it. I remember to just click on that sub button. You know, you'll be a sub to me. You know, make me a little happy. I don't have to cry at sleep, you know. That's not the point. Without further ado, though, as always, guys, stay soggy. And the next episode will be part 3 where we fight the sea dragon. And that's going to have way more funny moments than this. But as always, have a great day, you know. And also, stay soggy, my toasties.